Nice.
Thank you so much.
Very, very nice.
Sound good?
Excellent.
That's one of my songs, and the next one, Ken Meyle is going to change guitars, and this is one of his called 2x2.
Ready? 2x2, darling, I love you. Nobody else. Don't put me up on that shelf. The way that I see, the way that it's meant to be, not one but two, just me and you. I've been up, I've been down, I've been all around for a long time. But when I look into your eyes, I begin to realize blues don't mean a damn thing. Don't leave me behind. Forever is a long, long time. You know that I'm waiting for you. Please don't say that we're through. Well, I'm going home. Baby, don't you leave me alone. Don't wanna be sad. Best thing I've ever had. I've been up, I've been down, I've been all around for a long time. But when I look into your eyes, I begin to realize blues don't mean a damn thing. And I said, now 2x2, darling, I love you. Nobody else. Don't put me up on that shelf.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. Great harmony.
Great stuff. Nice stuff.
Love
Thank
the
you.
harmony.
Shall I interview them now, Dave? I guess I will. That was really nice. Beautiful, beautiful harmony. So I've got to ask you. You perform using your names, and as I was, stalking you on the internet, you also perform under 2x2. Is that correct?
That is
We-
the
we-
last week.
that-
This week we decided, people have been saying, you need a name, so we...
But he said, we can't use that name because there's a song. I said, oh, yeah, rules are for, sissies.
Well, yeah, I know. I so it's kind of confusing. So you're not using that name anymore? Is that correct?
No, we just started using
We
the
just
name 2x2.
started
In fact,
2x2.
yesterday.
Yes.
We're trying it
Well-
on for size.
All right, well, it seems to fit. And hey, the fact that you have a song 2x2, I mean, it's very easy to remember the song and your name as well. So I was reading a little bit about you, and I've got to ask you, how long have you two been playing together? I don't know. Are you just friends? Are you husband and wife?
We are going to be married, and we've been playing together just 2 years. We are a COVID couple. We got
Yeah.
together just before COVID.
Whoa.
So we had the crash test of couplehood, 24/7. So
We had
That's
met
great.
5 years ago. I used to have a music store, and I used to have a concert series there, and Carolyn had played there with a group she had played with. So that's when we met the first time, was 5 years ago.
Wow, that is great. I mean, you guys sound so great together, right? I mean,
Thank you.
Instruments and vocals.
thank you.
It's kind of magic when that happens because it doesn't happen a lot. So yeah,
It's
so
interesting because we were playing together. We were seeing each other for a while, and then one night we said, why don't we play some music together? And we sang together, and we went,
Yeah, the voices
yeah, just there was a natural
seem
blend,
Yeah.
like right
fit
away.
pretty well. It's been
Wow.
fun. It's been
yeah. So are most of the songs, and I once again I'm going with what I'm reading on the web. Are most of Carolyn, are most of the songs your creations?
Yes.
How
Well,
does that split up?
We split for performances, which we've just started doing because we've been paranoid about COVID. But we split half and half, and pretty much all the songs I perform are my own songs, and some of the songs we perform them together, are his, but he does some swing and other things, and he does his own spin on things. So it's not your usual cover. It's really interesting, at least to me.
Yeah, no, that's great. And are you basically just play the guitar, Carolyn, and
Guitar and
Ken?
sing.
Okay, and can you play a number of instruments?
Yes, I do.
All right.
I play guitar, mandolin, banjo, and I was a drummer for a long time also.
Wow. And so
And
when
he
you go
sings.
when you go and play, and he sings. You go and play somewhere, you gotta schlep all those.
Yes, it
instruments
is
with you?
annoying.
Yeah, yeah. I have a little bit of experience with that. So, well, that's great. I mean, you guys, your music sounds great, and
Thank
the
you.
originals, very very catchy and preppy. You've got a big thing coming up here on September 10th. Is that correct?
Yes,
Right,
it is.
Yeah,
That's the South Wayne Porch Fest.
that's exactly right.
So is that what goes on at the South Wayne Porch Fest?
Well, I think that the Porch Fest is, I believe, a nationwide event where on that day across the country, people open up their porches. It's all planned, and there are performances. So in the town of Wayne, which is a suburb of Philly near us, a number of people with beautiful homes have opened up their porches. So we're one of many performers, and we did that, I think, last year. Did
Yeah,
a few years.
Wayne's on the railroad leaving out of Philadelphia to go into central PA, and it was actually a resort town, so the homes are really impressive.
So we're going to play on some gorgeous front porch.
Yes.
Wow, that's great. And this is your first time on Open Mic America? Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. Mhm.
Yes.
Great. Listen, thank you so much.
Oh,
for
thank
coming
you.
and
Thank you.
Thank you for the
playing,
honor
and-
of playing.
Well, listen, please come back again. We'd love to have you come on
We
back.
would
we
love
will.
to. Yeah.
Great,
Thank you
thanks.
so much, Rich.
Okay, Dave, back to you.
Carolyn and Ken, you were terrific. That was terrific.
Thank
Really
you, Dave.
Great stuff. Great stuff. Next in the lineup is Louis Beeler from Charlotte, North Carolina. Where are you there, Louis?
I am here. Can you hear me?
I see you there. And real quick, we're wondering, where do you play locally? Do you have a favorite local establishment?
Yeah, there's two places that I play fairly regularly. It's the Kodiak Bar in Concord, North Carolina.
Okay. I got that. Thank you. Okay. In what city?
That's in Concord, North Carolina.
Okay. All right, we'll get that on our website. So go ahead. Let's hear what you got for us tonight. All
right. Well, this is a fairly brand new song that I just wrote. It just kind of came out. It's called Broken Glass. Counting our treasures and storing them away, lost in life's pleasures that lead us astray. We're polishing our diamonds, the gleam in our eyes, we're joking and feasting as a hungry man dies. We're filling our bags with diamonds, we think that the world is ours. We just need a few more houses, maybe some more shiny cars. When we reach heaven's gate, will they ever let us pass with our hearts of stone and our bags of broken glass? That was a new song. This is a classic song here. Feel free to sing along at home if you want. I've been sitting here, I don't know how long. Used to be alright, now everything seems wrong. Thinking about my future, looking at my past. Time to make some changes, and I've got to make them fast. I've got to run, run, run. To run, run, run. 'Cause if I stay another day, can't get away. See my mouth moving, now the words are coming out to make you listen. Sometimes I wonder if you know that I am here. Would you even notice if I just disappear? I've got to run, run, run. I've got to run, run, run. 'Cause if I stay another day, can't get away. Crazy. Now is it me or you? I've done all I can. There's nothing more that I can do. It's time to put my feet down, move across that floor. The last time you'll see me is when I'm flying through that door. I've got to run, run, run. If I stay another day, can't get away. Run, run, run. Run, run, run. 'Cause if I stay another day, can't get away.
Nice. Oh, that was
Amazing.
great. All right, Lewis, where are you on? I'm looking for you on the screen here. I don't see you, but there we go. So that was great. Your style, the last one is kind of rock infused to me. I mean, a real mover. I really like that, and it kind of lends itself. I know you had that little lead lick in there, and in my mind, I would sing a little harmony and stuff. But you're a solo performer. Have you ever played with a as part of a band, or do you just prefer doing the solo artist thing?
I've been solo for a while. I was in a duo for quite a few years with me and another guitar player. And I was in bands back in high school.
Yeah. But it really sounds great. So when you write a song, now the first song you played had this great line in it. Let's see, Hearts of Stone and Bags of Broken Glass.
Yeah.
So when you wrote that song, did you have the music first and then you came up with that little line and wrote the rest of the song around it, or how did you do that?
Most of my music, I tend to write the lyrics first, and then I add music to it.
Interesting.
And that line actually came from, I'm in a group called 100 Days of Songwriting. And we kind of, it's like a general accounting group. And we have like 100 days sessions where you just commit to do something during that 100 days, you know, whatever fits your lifestyle. But one of the guys wrote something about broken glass, or bags of broken glass. He was moving across the country, and he had a line in there that said something about bags of broken glass. So I just kind of grabbed that line and just kind of expanded on it.
Yeah, no. It really fits that song, and you know, I was thinking, okay, bags of broken glass. I mean, the whole message was when you get up to heaven and you get in there, you can't take all this stuff with you, right? That you bought, you know, bought along the way. And I was thinking those diamonds, you know, were just described as, you know, broken glass.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, really good stuff. So you also are involved in something called Tiny Stage Concerts.
Yeah, that is. I'm actually sitting on the tiny stage right now.
Are you really?
This is a little stage we built in our living room, and we have singer-songwriters that come in. We feature a new one each week, and we have a web series on YouTube. And so we've had people coming from all over. We're in Charlotte, North Carolina, so we have a lot of regional people that show up. And we've had people come from out of state. We had one guy come from Australia one time.
Wow.
So
and that's pretty cool. And so people can view that at www.tinystageconcerts.com, correct?
Correct.
All right, very cool. And you just had that new EP that dropped, Broken Glass.
Yeah.
Right. And boy, I tell you, you know, the first song. So how many songs are on there? 5 songs?
I think it's either 5 or 6. I can't remember. I think it was 5. Yeah.
Wow. All right, well, listen, we wish you a lot of luck with that, and you sounded great tonight, and please come back and see us again.
All right, I will. Thanks.
All right, Dave, back to you.
Rich, can you hear me okay?
I can.
Okay, now, during that segment, all the while you were doing that segment, your voice was a serious echo, and a very serious echo. Now I can't hear you.
I heard that too. Let's see. Can you hear me now?
Yes, and there's no echo now.
I know. I don't know what was causing that. I didn't want to stop during it, but I didn't do anything different. So I was thinking maybe someone else had their mic unmuted, and so they were listening through speakers, and then it came back through their mic. I don't know.
Okay, that's possible. That's possible.
Yeah.
I didn't look them over, so. Okay, let's just proceed then.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks.
Well, good. Lewis, thank you so much. Those were a couple of really strong numbers. Good stuff, man. Okay, next on the roster, well, I'm waiting for somebody to say something, and it's me. Arne Hurty from Burlingame, California. Step up to the plate, Arne, our old friend. He's been on our show a number of times. He's raring to go.
All right.
All right, Arne.
While you were peacefully sleeping and quietly blanketed over this land, far off on some distant shore, there was screaming and more blood left on your hand. Is there nothing more we have to say? Will we still follow, or will we turn away? My mythology has got to change. mistaken ideas fed us from our youth. So much distortion and tired old excuses surrounding us like a cocoon. Crimes decompose in the sacred ground, deep, deep below. They still sound. My mythology has got to change. My heritage cannot remain the same. Open up your heart and face the facts. No good reason to repeat the past. Yeah, there's no good reason to repeat the past.
Nice. Very nice.
Okay. There's no way we can know the way the winds of love are gonna blow. No way for us to possibly foresee what demands they're gonna be on our empathy. So don't believe any promises. Please don't make any of those promises to me. No one has any way to know just how this life is gonna go, what our future's gonna be. If we're gonna live a life filled with love, we need to be ready for whatever might come up. Getting settled in our ways, it'll only bog us down. And when that happens, love and understanding can't be found. So stop wasting time with promises. They're not good for anything. Why would anybody need to know anything more than a yes or no? Fortune tellers cannot say how this is all gonna shake out one day. They cannot give any guarantee, but it might be easier than it seems. I can't think of a time when a promise meant anything. And not getting one sure won't shatter anybody's dreams. I don't need them to understand what you mean. There's one thing that I'll write down, is that we ought to love each other as well as everyone around, regardless of where we might be coming from. 'Cause we're all the same when we're seen through the eyes of love. So don't believe anyone's promises, and don't make any promises to me. Compassion's all we need to know to take us where we wanna go. Yeah. Make us what we wanna be. Oh, make us what we wanna be.
Great.
I like
good.
that one.
Yeah, that was really good. All right. So, wow. I looked you up on YouTube, and you've got a bunch of videos, right? I mean, you got a lot of songs up there. Yeah, pretty impressive.
Thank you.
And some of those songs are solos. Videos are really good. Some of the songs are solo, and some you actually have a bassist and a percussionist. Helping. I think even that song, the one you just did, the No Promises.
Yeah.
Did that have like a bassist and percussionist helping you
No,
out
no,
on
I
that one?
played that one solo, but
Was
the
it?
bass player is Bob Rollins, and he's like a dear, dear friend of mine, and he's an amazing bass player, brilliant bass player, and he's a jazz guy, so he can play jazz saxophone and everything else. So I mean, he plays bass because he loves bass, and then the drummer is Kevin Hasenauer, and he used to play in a punk band with me way back in the '70s, and he's still around. And I get a hold of him, and we, I send these out, and then they add their riffs to them, their tracks to them, Yeah.
You know, how valuable is that, right?
Yeah,
to
that's
have
great.
friends, you're not in a band anymore, you're doing a solo thing, but you want to record a song. I mean, and you can,
it's
today's
fantastic.
technology is very easy to,
Yeah.
send a file out, play along with this, you get the file back in, and on the computer go and create a whole song.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. So, what artists have influenced your music?
Oh my God, just I can't even count.
Well, who do you listen to? I mean, who the artists you still like to listen to?
Well, I like to listen to. I love listening to Cuban music. I love listening to Compay Segundo. He is really an epic, legendary Cuban musician. Compay Segundo, and he's put out a million records and stuff. I love listening to his stuff, and I don't know. I like Sly and the Family Stone a lot, and some like old classic stuff.
Sure.
For sure. But yeah.
So when you listen to the Cuban music,
Yes.
and you listen to it a lot, right? And then you sit down the guitar. Do you find yourself coming up with riffs that turn into songs that they're kind of?
I don't know.
Basically-
I mean, I'm sure there's some influence there, but I don't know. I mean, what I do, I write songs and riffs. I write music and riffs and notes separately, and then I write lyrics separately, like poems. And then I'll come back and swap things out. Like all those songs, like the songs you just heard there, I went through like 2 or 3 iterations of lyrics with those songs. One of them was like a love song, and it changed to something else. And, so, it's kind of what suits it, and it doesn't always come out the right way initially.
Right. So
At least
no,
not
no,
with
no,
me. I'm not Hank Williams.
Yeah, there's some people. You're right. There's some people. They write the lyrics, and then they get a tune that fits it, and it's a classic, right? So do you find that you do the lyrics, or you do the music first, and then the lyrics, and you keep
Yeah, I
working on the lyrics?
I don't think about the timing really. It's just kind of just putting submissions to the library, and then I go back and pull stuff out of the library,
right.
basically.
And so that library is your iPhone that you get the voice
Exactly.
recorder.
Exactly.
Yeah, who doesn't do that, right?
Exactly.
The old
Exactly.
days, it was little pieces of paper.
Yes, I know.
It's good stuff.
I know.
All right, so great sound.
Well,
really
thank you.
great
Thank you.
sound,
Thank you very much.
and your videos on YouTube are pretty impressive. Good
Thank
music.
you. I appreciate that.
You bet. Listen, come on back and play for us. In a future session. We'd love to have you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank
Take
you.
care. Okay, Dave, back to you.
Thank you, Rich, and thank you, Arne. Always some really fascinating stuff you come up with. I don't know how you come up with this stuff. So, who's next on the... okay, we've got Rob Cork up right now from Beaverton, Oregon. Where are you, Rob? Love Rob and his wife, Sherry. Wife is Sherry, right?
Penny.
Penny, Sherry. Penny. I'm bad about this.
Yeah.
Penny. They are a great songwriting team, and I always get it mixed up which one writes the melody and which one writes the words.
Well, that was a beautiful segue, Dave, because I want to do a couple of shout outs. First and foremost to Penny, and she writes the lion's share of the words. I occasionally get editorial credit, and then once in a while I'll come up with a zinger line, but for the most part she writes the lyrics. And on occasion, she'll have the melody in key, and all I got to do is put it together. Sometimes it's the opposite. I've got a tune, and the words fit with it, or I've got the words and the tune fits with it. I wanted to do 2 more shout outs before I play my first song. First of all, my open mic of choice is the Influence Music Hall, which we've been lucky enough to do in person in downtown Hillsborough for a few weeks. And our sound engineer is our founder, and I was fortunate enough to be invited to be on the board of directors for that too, which I'm very happy about. So we're doing some pretty cool stuff. 2 more things. Arne, I had both of those mics on my Sweetwater wish list. And Lewis, I was also told to tell you that the Squirrels Run Wild song is one of Penny's favorites. And I'll get a decent cover for you one of these days and send it to you. But in the meantime, we're going to play one of ours. This one's called Song for William. I'm walking home in the Portland rain. He's out on the street again. And I'm wondering, what can I do? What can I offer him to see him through? That umbrella won't help me none, but do you think you could get me some coffee? Just a cup of coffee. Sure, there's a shop right over there. Let's go in and grab a chair and have some coffee. Just a cup of coffee. Under his blanket, he tries to hide himself from those behind glass eyes that follow his every move, but can't see past the grime into his light. I'm a mess, but I have my pride. I think it's best I stay outside and drink that coffee. Just a cup of coffee. The rain made mud run down his arms over the hands that held that warm cup of coffee. Just a cup of coffee. thanks for the coffee. It was just a cup of coffee. Thank you for the coffee. This cup of coffee.
Nice. Nice.
Got several days worth of singing really loud on my voice here. Let me see if I can get my frog down. This next one is not nearly as serious, but it's fun. Once I had a lucky bamboo. The leaves turned brown and never grew. Who needs a plant now that I've got you? I watch them haul it away. Don't care what superstitions say. Nobody gotta die today. I think I'll let them keep 4 legs. Watch him hop away. You're my little good luck charm, and I got you here in my arms. Yes, I do. Move a little closer and I'll keep you warm. We'll just dream away. I don't need to search through fields of clover. On hands and knees I look at each leaf over. I'll take a chance and get out for more. Cut it all away. You're my little good luck charm, and I got you here in my arms. Yes, I do. Move a little closer and I'll keep you warm. We'll just dream away. I found a horseshoe shiny new. I turned it over and the luck went through. I don't need an out 'cause I got you. Yes, I do. I gave it back to the horse. You're my little good luck charm, and I got you here in my arms. Yes, I do. Move a little closer and I'll keep you warm. We'll just dream away. You and me, hey, we got it all. Just day to day on this big blue ball. We threw those dice, we won it all. Let's just walk away.
Another great one.
So that was a real rocker.
If you're lucky, I didn't get into my start channeling Elvis there for a second, right?
No, that would have been great. Listen, Before I ask any questions, just I just want to ask you. You're not an employee of Sweetwater, are you? You're not a sales engineer. You had that shout out there.
Absolutely not. It's just something to which, a sin to which we all can relate.
Oh, listen. Is there anybody on here tonight that doesn't have a Sweetwater sales engineer asking you, if they can help you, buy guitar straps or picks?
I finally got mine to just text me. It's not complicated. He's like, is it okay if they text you? I was like, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, we could talk forever. We can talk later about Sweetwater, but they do a real. I think they would do a really good job, free shipping, and I even have a Sweetwater T-shirt. So there you go. Anyway, so I believe you've been in rock bands. You played lead guitar, rhythm guitar. Is that right? In the previous life,
all that stuff. Yeah,
right. And so you made the transition to solo performer, acoustic guitar. Was that something that happened during the pandemic, or how long have you been doing that?
No, I'm one of those people who how can I put this in a very general sense? Behaved quite badly when it came to various substances in my life, and it basically blew out everything. And I had to kind of pick up the pieces and move on. I mean, I was fortunate to be one of those people who got a chance to pick up the pieces and move on. Because I can tell you, I got a lot of friends who didn't make it.
Right.
But as a result, I went underground for a long time and played. In fact, part of the songwriting thing has to do with the fact that I play in the garage, and Penny basically said, if I write you some words for a song, will you go out and start playing again? And that's where we found the Influence Music Hall, which is kind of why that's so close to my heart. And that legacy comes from there. So,
all right. Very cool. And so do you ever miss, all of the bad stuff aside, do you ever miss getting up there with, your electric guitar of choice? The amp behind you and just belting out a couple of,
Absolutely. Well, you know what? And I'm getting a little bit of that right now. I'm playing with a string band. I'm kind of a bastard string band, if you'll excuse the expression. There's an electric bass player. And we do kind of Americana stuff, but we all sing together. The other guy plays mandolin as well, and a couple other things. And we get to sing, and we get to, I get to play some lead and hang out. We had a gig on Friday, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. It scratches a lot of that itch for sure.
Right.
And these guys are totally supportive, so yeah.
Yeah, Rob, I'll tell you, it's. I think it's something that you reach a certain age, because I'm kind of going through the same thing, and I live on Bainbridge Island, Washington, and it's full of older guys who played in rock bands that are now groups of twos and threes, Americana music. It's kind of cool. It really is.
It is, I mean, it does homage to a legacy, and it keeps you safe at the same time.
Yeah. So I was gonna, you had mentioned your wife. I was gonna ask you, how that all came about. So she was the one who said, "Hey, listen, if I write you some words, will you leave the house for a few hours and go play somewhere?"
Yeah, well, and she came with too. I mean, it was definitely not a solo deal, but it was like, let's do something with this thing. And she claims that the first song that came out was a terrible song, but I happen to think that if you put enough electric guitars behind it, it sounds pretty darn good. But yeah, there's a ton of material.
Okay, yeah. Well, I'll just end up with this. I was listening to some of your stuff on YouTube, I think it was, and there's a song called Annie.
Oh yeah.
And the lyrics are really great. Now, is that based on a story that was in the paper, something of a missing woman?
It is exactly that. The song is exactly what she got from the news report, and her feelings about it, the impact that it had on her. And just a real quick tidbit about that song is that song came out I was literally doing yard work in the backyard, and I got a text with about 75% of the lyrics on it from her.
Wow.
Just, boop, I did some arranging, so I did some work as well. But yeah, that was a kind of a channeled tune right there.
Yeah, no, it's a really great tune. Anybody listening, go check that out. And my only comment to that is you should do more yard work. All right, Rob, thanks. You sounded great tonight, and come on back again and play for us.
All right, I appreciate it. It's my pleasure.
Yep, Dave, back to you.
Thank you, Rich. That was terrific, Rob. Just terrific. Next up, we have Max Newton from Berkeley, California. Take it away, Max.
Hello, everybody. So, Rob, you might be able to identify with this first song. It starts off sounding like a very hopeful thing, but it's about a guy who had a little bit of a drinking problem. When I see your face, I just have to smile. It kind of rearranges my heart for a while. But what I want to tell you, I can never say, 'cause there's someone already standing in the way. I don't understand why you're nice to me, and I want to make it seem like more than it could ever be. 'Cause sometimes when I look up, our eyes seem to touch, but you're there on your throne, and I'm here in my cups. Thing we call love, we can't be sure it's really real. But what a pretty life, what a lovely way to feel. So raise a cup to Valentine, saint of love and joy, and bless the lucky lovers and natures of the toys. So that's the first one.
Beautiful.
Wow, that was awesome.
Work.
That's excellent.
Run it again, Max.
Thanks. Now this one, it sounds like I'm echoing. I just did there for a second, I guess. This one, I should introduce it by saying that Balzac once wrote, Le secret des grandes fortunes sans cause apparente est un crime oublié parce qu'il a été proprement fait, which is translated in English as behind every great fortune without cause is a crime hidden because it was well executed. And it was popularized in the 20th century in Mario Puzo's The Godfather when he said, behind every great fortune, there is a crime. And it's called The Information Age. She threw the pistol on the bed and wrote his name in cherry red on the mirror in the hall while she made a conference call to tell them he was dead. She changed her clothes and hid her hair beneath the wig way down to there. Witnesses who she had passed would tell the cops when they were asked, but she would vanish in the air. She didn't work for the corporation. She did freelance and consultation. She wasn't shooting for a salary. Nobody would ever pay her what she was really worth. So she took it anyway. Cell phone right up against his face and opened up his database. All the world's a stage. It's the information age. His online account was full of cash. He'd sold his stocks before the crash. But first she hacked his corporate files and sent them through the Cayman Isles, where she'd pretend to make a splash. She paused a moment and a half for a quiet little laugh, and then closed the ancient gate. She'd already made a date with the plastic surgeon's staff. She didn't work for the corporation. She did freelance and consultation. She wasn't shooting for a salary. Nobody would ever pay her what she was really worth. So she took it anyway. Goodbye to stupid little hassles. It's time to bridge that great crevasse. Hello to living in a castle. Welcome to the ruling class. Moving up to the noble class. And that's the second one.
Nice.
That was not meant to glorify violence.
Okay, good to know. Thank you. So Max, is that standard tuning on your guitar, or is that
It's dad.
It's dad.
Dad.
Oh, dad.
It's two dads.
Two dads instead of dad. Okay, yeah, I thought so. You know, the first song, a little bit on that second song, but the first song definitely had a tinge of kind of a Stephen Stills.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah. I mean, great sound, and great songs. So, that second song, the one you just finished. So where did those lyrics come from?
Well, I'm a commie, and so
Well,
you know.
Good to
So
know. Thank you very much. For
I mean,
sharing.
that's probably all you need to know.
We'll move on now to our next professional. Yeah. So no. I mean, was it based on something?
No,
or
just-
you just started writing.
I've also written short stories and poetry and a bunch of other stuff in my past, and this is basically a short story with chords. You know.
So was the story there first, or was the music there first?
Like probably most people here, it's a little bit of both. You know, you do something, you try it out, then you go, oh, that didn't work, and you try something else, and oh, that worked, and you hone it and go back and forth. And,
Right.
right. I mean, I had the idea in my head when I started. I didn't know exactly how every lyric would go, but I knew how I wanted the story to go.
Got you. Gotcha. And have you been a solo performer?
Yeah, pretty much. I only performed with a band like once, actually. I got a group together and played at the Freight and Salvage on the name Max and the, what did we call ourselves? I can't remember, whatever. I'm more interested, what I really love to do when I'm playing alone is have fake names.
Really?
Like Rufus Lee King and the Rafters with the Chicken Little Dancers. That
nice.
was one that I did there for a while. Yeah, no, it's
You did that when you were with a band, not solo, right?
no, actually no. That was what I did is my first show that I had at the Freight. I started off with a bunch of people on stage, and some of them in chicken outfits, and they danced to the first song that was up there, and so they were the Chicken Little Dancers, and
Very nice.
it's the idea is that for the most part to try to make people laugh. I threw in that more serious song there at the end just because, felt like a good time to do it.
with the chickens off the stage at the time.
No, they were on stage with me, and I even had a helium-filled pig, so that I could say, people said that I'd never be able to play here in a show until pigs flew, and so I had a flying pig above, and made it a visual spectacle. It's online. If you go to my YouTube channel, you can see it and a bunch of other stuff.
Ah, interesting. So you brought up your YouTube channel. I mean, you've got a lot of great stuff up there, songs, but your videos are spectacular.
Oh, thanks.
Most of us post videos of ourselves, and nice background and guitar, and maybe we're outside or something, but yours are very well crafted. Do you do that yourself?
Yeah, I do that. For a while there, one section, if you go to the website, you'll find things where I did something for the Berkeley Community Media Center, and they had a green screen. And so I learned how to do some stuff with green screen. I had other people performing, and I would do, different people, give everybody like a half an hour and do their thing. And then I'd be able to put images behind them that related in some way to the song that they were singing.
Yeah.
That was fun.
You are very, very good at that.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
And you're a very good performer too. So
oh, well, thank you very much.
there you go. All right. Well, and I used to be in the Bay Area too. I always like to hear Bay Area artists. So anyway, great tunes. Really
Thanks,
enjoyed
Rich.
it. And Dave, back to you. Oh, and come on back. I know you've been on here before, right?
Yeah.
This is like the seventh time.
By the way, I'm probably supposed to say something like I play with with the West Coast Songwriters. I've been playing at the Berkeley chapter at the Gilman Brewing Company is what they're doing now. But I just drink coffee. Because I had to also do what Rob did.
It's a thread that runs through a lot of these
I believe a
stories
lot
here.
of us have been there before. Yes, right.
All right. Well, great. Thanks
a lot
for showing up. We'll
All
see
right,
you next
Rich.
time
Thank
you're
you.
on here. Okay,
All right.
Dave, on to you.
Thanks so much, Max. Love your stuff. Always some very, very interesting stuff. Next up, Paul Colombino from Wakefield, Rhode Island. Take it away, Paul.
Thanks, Dave. Get rid of the headphones. I'm going to start funny talking about the Bay Area. My son lives in the Bay Area now, and I'm way over here in Rhode Island on the East Coast. When he first moved away, I expected that to happen. Your kids grow up and they're supposed to develop their own lives, but I didn't realize how much it affected me until one day I was walking by the beach where he used to surf, and all these emotions started flooding out all over the place. So I wrote the song about it. Took a walk by the ocean in the sunlight. I remember the way you ride the waves, feeling caught between the happiness of a memory and the sadness of recalling brighter days. When you left, you took a piece of my heart. But you never meant to cause me pain. But the emptiness of being apart makes me wonder, will it ever be the same? do you like the waves in California, breaking like my heart upon the sand? Will you find a way that leads before you? Leave me sad and broken on dry land. And in the beauty of the moonlight off the water, I can almost see your face up in the sky. And when I think of all the changes that we've gone through, I can't help but sit and hang my head and cry. But it's better that I let you go. Never try to hold you down, 'cause the winds of change blow swift, I know, and that tide just keeps on rolling round. And do you like the waves in California, breaking like my heart upon the sand? Will you find a way that leads before you? Leave me sad and broken on dry land. So I sit staring at the white caps on the ocean, as the sands of time are washed out by the tide, and I'm pounded by the waves of my emotion. But the storm has left me nowhere else to hide, and everybody's got to cry sometimes. That's a lesson I've learned well, and that land that I will heal in time with the rising ocean swells. And do you like the waves in California, breaking like my heart upon the sand? Will you find a life that leads before you? Leave me sad and broken on dry land. Do you like the waves in California, breaking like my heart upon the sand? Oh, and will you find a life that leads before you? Leave me sad and broken on dry land.
Wow, beautiful, beautiful lyrics.
I always give myself a sigh of relief when I finish that song, and I didn't cry in the middle of it. So, while I'm retuning here, I'll tell you where the song came from. When I used to work in a guitar store a long time ago, and we used to have this sign on the wall that said "Stairway to Heaven," and it had a big red circle and a big red line going through it. Because when you work in a guitar store, everybody that picks up a guitar off the wall plays Stairway to Heaven. And so we just decided that, you know, it was a masterpiece in and of itself, but that people should just leave it alone. So this is a song that I wrote to kind of echo that idea about a masterpiece by Leonard Cohen that you hear in an awful lot of places, probably way too many. So this is my take on Hallelujah. Well, I heard there was this well-known song that was overplayed for way too long. At every open mic they'd sing it to ya. It goes on and on, it seems to drift in an endlessly repeated riff. And every time you sang it they would boo ya. Yeah, they'd boo ya, barbecue ya, ballyhoo ya, say adieu to ya. Well, at first the song seemed good enough, but later on the words got mighty rough. The forcing of that rhyme scheme goes right through you. And I hope that God will hear my prayer, and singers singing everywhere, they'll never force this melody unto ya, 'cause they'll boo ya, barbecue ya, ballyhoo ya, say adieu to ya. Well, now my song is almost done. I didn't want to have to be the one. I didn't want to have to break it to you. But if I ever hear this song again, I swear I'll go find Leonard's pen and smash it till the ink runs out to blue ya. 'Cause they'll boo ya, barbecue ya, ballyhoo ya, say adieu to ya.
Boo.
Sorry, Larry.
That was great.
That was great.
Thank you. Thanks.
So, so Paul, you know that first song. I mean, to me, that song is radio ready. The lyrics are there. There's that little hook on, in the chorus. Just what a wonderful song. And I mean, you wrote that about missing your son, but that could easily be a guy missing his girlfriend.
Oh, yeah, I thought the same thing. It's actually radio ready. It's getting some airplay now. It was playing on at least a couple of stations. One of them actually in Nevada City, California. I forget the call letters of the station out there, but it is getting some airplay. So
Yeah,
cool.
Well, I can believe it. Yeah, really,
Thanks.
Really nice song. All right, so I have to ask you too. What kind of tuning did you use for your Hallelujah satire?
That was G major tuning, or
Wow,
Hawaiian slack key they call it sometimes.
I see.
And the first one was Dadgad.
Yeah. Oh, Dadgad, it's wonderful. Yeah.
Good old
Who doesn't like
Dadgad.
Dadgad, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I get nervous when the special tuning on the guitar when you have to tune up instead of tune down.
Yeah, I almost never do that. It scares me too. I'm afraid the neck's going to snap in half or something. So
I don't worry about
always
that.
go
I
down.
worry about the string, right?
yeah.
No, that sounds great. So I was reading a little bit about you, and it seems like you learned guitar when for the same reason most young males learn guitar, to try to pick up girls. One of the things that you had mentioned in the bio, I think on your page, is seeing Leo Kottke. Correct? Do you remember writing
Yeah.
that about Leo Kottke?
Yeah.
I'll tell you, it resonated with me because when I was in college, Leo Kottke came to Cal Poly. This is in the 70s, right? Early mid 70s. And I'd never heard of him. A friend said, "Hey, come on, let's go." And he played in the college gym or auditorium, at that time. It just blew me away. And so, I heard him. I said, "Oh man, how does he play all those notes on one guitar?" Right? I mean, there's so much music coming out of it, and and so I went back and just went back to playing my electric guitar because I knew I wasn't going to get that good. But on the other hand, say that that you tried to learn that, and it's evident in the way you play guitar now. And so today it's relatively easy to do that. You can go on YouTube and there's like a 50 guys who will show you, or women, whoever, people will show you how to play certain songs, right? But back then, I mean, you had to. Tell me, what you had to do to try to get that finger-picking style of Kottke.
Well, when I first heard his playing, I recognized what it was that he was doing. Essentially, it was, it's kind of an offshoot of Travis picking in it, but just incredibly more complex and incredibly faster, for lack of a better word. But I kind of understood what he was doing. And so the way that I kind of attacked it was what we used to do back in those days, which I used to call drop the needle, where we'd put the needle on the recording, play it for a while. All right, what did that sound? Let me try that, and let me go there. And the tough thing with him a lot of times was figuring out what the tuning was too, because there was no information on that. Although I think on some of his albums he might have listed the tunings. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he's one of the people that did that, but that's basically what I did and wore out the records, just moving the needle back and moving it back and moving it back. And my introduction to him was at a party when I was playing a 12-string guitar, and somebody said, "If you play 12-string, you have to hear this guy." And when I first heard him, I swear my jaw hit the floor, and it would have gone further if the floor wasn't there. It amazed me that anybody could do that. And I think the story goes that somebody heard a record of his one time, somebody famous, and said, "Who are these guys?"
That's right. Yeah, because I mean, he's just incredible, and your guitar work sounds really great.
Thanks.
Music sounds really great. So, do you have any? I think I saw that you had your last album was out in 2019. Is that correct?
Yeah,
You have a new
2019
one?
or 2020. I'm starting to. I have the material for a new one. I have not started recording it. I've just been working on this radio, radio promotion stuff. So that's what's happening lately, and playing a few gigs and stuff. But I have some material, so I'm going to start recording this winter, and hopefully the new CD and recording will be done by next spring or summer.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, hey, we really enjoyed you tonight, and
thanks.
you know the drill. Come on back when you get a chance.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
All right, Dave, back to you.
Thanks so much, Paul, for a wonderful set. Just
Thanks, Dave.
Wonderful, absolutely wonderful. Well, next up, we have Bet Paget from Raleigh, North Carolina. Bet, it's all you.
All right.
Thank you.
So,
Good.
The idiom, leaving no stone left unturned, refers to searching for something until you have exhausted all options. And that happened to me about 20 years ago. I lost a piece of jewelry up in my garden, and I looked for it, and I still have hopes that someday I might find it. But all the things that I have found up in my garden and out in the yard let me know that there are very special people that have lived here before. And so, this is called Turning Over Stones. I was on my hands and knees pulling weeds in my favorite place, the garden. I love to feel the moisture between my fingers. It's box between them, carefully placed underneath. Between the rose and peony, I touched my necklace but did not feel the special pendant someone made for me. The silver guitar worked itself free. Shaken beyond any tears, it graced my neck for many years. Like an arm, it was part of me. I'm sad I might not see it again. I don't give up easily. I'll search till it comes back to me. I'll find it eventually, turning over stones. Every time I go outside, I dig a bit and keep my hopes high. I found the gravestone of a dog that someone loved 60 years ago. Something shiny caught my eye, my heart raced, so did I. Not what I was looking for. I don't give up easily. I'll search till it comes back to me. I'll find it eventually, turning over stones. This garden is filled with stories. Most are not mine to tell. I have discovered them and left some behind as well. A rusty bucket, croquet ball, a toy truck, and a porcelain doll. Treasures, each one of them to someone else way back when. Beneath the rocks are histories accidentally lost in time. I gathered them through the years, and now what's left for me to find? I don't give up easily. My pendant I may never see. I hope it's found eventually, turning over stones, turning over stones, turning over stones, turning over stones. So, no matter how you might feel about gun laws and gun restrictions, there was an event May 24th in Uvalde, Texas, that I think everyone would agree things like that really don't need to happen in our country. And 2 days later, the Tampa Rays baseball team played the New York Yankees, and rather than using Twitter to tweet the game and the plays, they used it to talk about gun violence in America. And I took their words and put it to music. So this is called Things Won't Change. Here we go again, sending teddy bears and flowers to families whose children will never grow old. In our land where guns outnumber people, more than 100 are killed each day. Things won't change if things don't change. Things won't change. change if things won't change. It's a right to bear arms to protect home and country. White men in wigs wrote a long time ago. Now we're afraid for our sons and our daughters. Would this be law if those men had known? Things won't change if things don't change. Things won't change if things don't change. Weapons have evolved since the Second Amendment. We live in fear, kids' dreams won't come true. We cannot be numb, this can't become our normal. Can't close our ears or look the other way. Things won't change if things won't change. Things won't change if things don't change. Teddy bears and flowers to families whose children will never grow old.
Wow, wow. Beautiful. So
I
Bat,
wish I didn't feel like I had to write that.
so Bet, tell me again, the lyrics come from Instagram or Twitter posts?
Twitter.
Interesting. And yeah, well, I'll tell you, the lyrics were very moving, but the tune that you came up with to back those lyrics, it was just perfect. I mean,
Thank you.
That song is incredible and really tells the story. See, you started on the guitar, and that last one was on the banjo, and I was reading a little bit about you, and it mentioned claw hammer banjo, and I don't know anything about banjos, right? So is that the way you were playing it?
Yes, it's a sort of an Appalachian style.
Right.
Right.
So I'm gonna have to look into that. I've got a banjo hanging up on the wall that I
It's
haven't
wonderful.
played in years.
It is it's very rhythmic.
Yes.
Very rhythmic.
Yeah, no, you
I love it.
sounded great on it. So how long have you been playing music, and how long have you been writing music?
I wrote my first song in 1989, but I've been playing music since I was 5 years old.
Wow.
So yeah, a few years.
What did you start on? What instrument?
A piano.
And then you moved on to probably guitar.
Well, ukulele. I think the craze was ukulele when I was 11 years old, and then I graduated to baritone ukulele, and then guitar. Yeah.
Right. Hey, I like ukulele. Ukulele. You'll still find ukuleles in modern songs.
Oh, right. I teach ukulele. I've got a lot of ukulele students. It's the rage these days.
Yeah, and it's easy to carry to gigs.
That's nice.
And it's also easy to play. So you've got a lot of CDs online. I think there are probably 10 CDs that I saw that are available. So you're a pretty prolific performer. How many hours a week do you commit to, practicing, learning tunes?
It varies. When I'm really hot on a song, I'll spend maybe a couple of hours a day, and then maybe an hour the next day, and 30 minutes the next day, and then it's sort of done. But I don't spend as much time as I would like to. Who does? I think everybody could say that. I could do this all day long, but I can't do this all day long.
Right. Yeah. I know. A lot of us feel kind of guilty. We get away for a couple hours and you feel like, whoa, what should I have been doing? Instead of playing that. So you also are in a little quartet called the Mosketeers, and you play at the nursing homes in the area.
Before COVID, and we loved doing that. That was a lot of fun, and the residents of the nursing homes loved it too. The Mosketeers. It's named after our dog Moss, because he's at all of our rehearsals.
Yeah, I'm kind of familiar with the importance of music in assisted living and nursing homes, and so it's really something very special that performers like you do when you go and bring music and joy to the people in nursing homes. Really good. So so you play around the area. Do you have any big gigs coming up?
I have not been playing live music. I had a couple of gigs last year, sort of in between flare-ups of COVID, and then it got really bad again. So I've been doing mostly virtual shows, and I've got 2 virtual shows in December I'm excited about. One is gosh, I can't remember. I have to go look.
You'll remember when you need to.
I know. Songs my mother would not like, which has been a virtual concert series that's been going on since COVID. And then the Folk Project up in New Jersey, they have a series called Streaming Tuesdays, and that is a full hour show. And I'm looking forward to doing those. And, I've been joining lots of song circles, virtual song circles. And hopefully, it will be safe. I will feel safe. Hopefully, I will feel safe to get out and play in person.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Things will get back to normal, the new normal.
The new normal, right?
But the silver lining through the pandemic was virtual open mics, virtual guitar circles. I mean, it's really been great for performers, I think.
It is, absolutely.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Well, Bette, thank you very much for joining us tonight. I really enjoyed it. I'm going to take my banjo off the wall and go figure out clawhammer banjos. All right, and please come back.
I'd love to. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Dave, back to you.
Bette, thanks for your wonderful songs.
Thank you for having me.
Terrific songs.
Thank you.
And next up is Steve Andersen from Alameda, California. Where are you, Steve? There he is. Take it away.
I just unmuted myself, and then I got a sign that said unmute yourself, and I wasn't sure. Anyway, here I am. I was delighted to hear Bette sing about the gun situation. I'd like to think of myself as a folk singer because I like to sometimes raise awareness of things, hopefully have some small influence on change that I think is necessary. So, and actually, this thing that I'm going to do is along those lines. I wrote it not exactly, but somewhere around 2 years ago when I thought something was a done deal, and it turns out it isn't, and the song is sort of like not exactly accurate in its intent as a result of that, but we do what we can, and this is what I'm going to do. I can see clearly now that Trump is gone, with all of his pals who let him have his way. Farewell to fake news that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, bright, rational day. Yes, I can make it now that Trump is gone. All his mistakes will surely fade away. We welcome the replacement who we've been praying for. It's gonna be a bright, bright liberal day. Look at the House controlled by good guys. Look at the Senate, needs more good guys. Yes, we can all make it now that Trump is gone. I feel some happiness coming our way. We're building a world where people get along. It's gonna be a bright, bright, rational day. Gonna be a bright, bright, liberal day. Gonna be a bright, bright, diversified way. Gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day.
We're getting there. Getting there.
We live in hope.
We do.
So the other day, there was a small threat of rain, and I was reminded of the fact that years ago, when it rained, I'd put on a coat and hat, and I'd go out and walk in the rain just because I loved it. Not sure why that is, but in California, the rain is often very gentle and just pleasant to be in. Everything smells good, and it's just anyway. That all floated through my head, and the next thing I knew, I was writing a song, and about 2 hours later, it was pretty much done. I just a couple little minor revisions after that. So this is what I came up with. When it rains in California, I look out my window pane. A little voice inside me says, get out there in the rain. The pitter-patter of the raindrops make my rooftop come alive. Suddenly I'm claustrophobic. I really need to get outside. When it rains in California, I put on my coat and hat. Never use an umbrella, 'cause there ain't no joy in that. Raindrops falling on my shoulders, raindrops falling on my face. Happy tears of Mother Nature make the world a better place. Rainy days are oft complained of, they mess with other plans. But life depends upon them, we'd not survive on barren lands. So I rejoice in getting wet, and I don't mind the chill. It nourishes my soul, and I know it always will. When it rains in California, foolish people rush inside. Weathering the weather is a thrill they can't abide. Their shelter is a prison where they choose to not be free. That artificial comfort simply doesn't work for me. When it rains in California, I put on my coat and hat, forget that old umbrella, and I'm not so sure about the hat. Raindrops falling on my shoulders, raindrops falling on my face, happy tears of Mother Nature make the world a better place.
It's wonderful.
Good one.
That's a nice tune. Of course, it doesn't rain anymore in California, so, you know, that's the end of that song. So, Steve, I got a question for you. So,
Okay.
do you go by Steve Andersen, or do you go by the Elder Singer, or do you go by, there's a word here, Sickbalus, or S-Y? Wait a minute. Sibalus, how do you pronounce that? What's
Okay,
going on?
there is a short story behind that.
Okay.
There's a movie called The Wrong Box that I watched, 40 years ago, and it starred one of those old British Sir somebody or other performers, and they were on a train, and the train got accosted by criminals, and I think the train wrecked, and this old actor, raised his fist, and he shouted at these villains. He said, "Sibyllum," and I've always liked words, so of course I looked it up. Well, turns out Sibyllum is little balls of fecal material. And then years later, I decided to sign up for YouTube, and the name that I used for my email address was taken, and my name was taken. And I thought, well, if I'm going to come up with a shitty name, so I came up with Sibyllus.
I'm so happy I asked that question.
So there you have it.
Story. So, have you been you've been playing guitar a long time? And singing a long time?
Well, I played in college, and then I didn't until about 4 years ago.
Really? And so you stopped because why? You were raising a family, you had a job, you didn't have enough time?
Well, it was a combination of all those things. Basically, I was making money at it back then. Actually, I was making as much money doing that as I was with my day job. But then I decided it was time to go back and try and finish college, which I didn't. But anyway, I decided that the life of a musician was probably not for me. That I'd be happier if I just did a regular thing. And I got married and had kids and set the guitar aside. And after I retired, I had nothing to do for a while and didn't think about it. And then one day I just said, oh, time to do this. So I got out the old guitar that I bought back in 1963, my old 12-string, and started playing it, and soon realized that, all the stuff that I did back then was, not anything anybody wanted to hear, so I started writing. And that was not quite 4 years ago.
Wow.
So.
Wow, what a story! I mean, that the stuff you're writing is really very clever, and your voice, you've got this kind of very mellow, velvety kind of voice that goes along so well with what you're singing. It's great. So, did you say the first guitar that you had back in '63 was a 12-string? Yeah,
it was a Gibson-built Epiphone. 12-string dreadnought.
Right. Okay. And so I noticed some videos of you playing songs with that 12-string. Which do you prefer to play, the 6 or the 12 these days?
Well, the 12-string is something that I've always loved, but I'm finding that on a 6-string guitar I can do things that I could never do on the 12-string. And then if I do them long enough on the 6 string, then I can do them on the 12 string.
Yeah.
So it's kind of it's a synergistic sort of circle that I go around in. I would say that I'm playing the 6 string more now because it's easier to learn on and it's easier to develop new songs on. But every once in a while I think, ooh, I should do that on the 12. And I'm usually happy when I make that decision. So it's, I love them both.
Yeah, I mean, the 12s get such a great sound, but you, you have to press, at least on mine, you have to press harder. And the older I get, the tougher it is to press harder. I have to work out first before I get on the 12 string. And just final question. So how many of those Steve modified songs do you have where you've rewritten the lyrics?
Oh, not a lot, actually. Maybe, I don't know, half a dozen.
Really? Well,
yeah. Usually it's just totally original stuff that I come up with. But every once in a while I hear something and I say, I should do something with that, and I do. So.
Yeah. Well, it sounds great. Very clever lyrics. Like I said before the show started, the one that you did, this land was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the first time I heard that, I said, man, that is really good.
It's definitely one of my favorites as well. So,
all right, well, listen, I know you'll be back again. You're a repeat offender on this show.
I am.
And thanks for coming by tonight, and we'll see you next time. Dave,
thanks
take
for
it
having
away.
me.
Thanks so much, Steve. Always great hearing your stuff. Love your stuff.
Thank you.
Next up is Gail and David appearing as Home Tonight from Mariposa, California. Take it away, Gail and David.
Thanks so much. We're just going to jump right into our first tune. What is love?
What is a life?
What is truth?
What is right?
What's a reason? What's believing? What's loneliness? How I feel about you. What's a friend?
What's a lover?
What's a sister?
What's a brother?
What's a way I can say? What's lovely is how I feel about you. What's honesty?
What's intention?
What is release?
What's affection?
What's a reason? What's believing? What's lovely is how I feel about you. What's a sign?
What's the season?
What is learning?
What is wisdom?
What's a way I can say? What's lovely is how I feel about you. What's that look?
What's that touch?
What's this moment?
What's enough?
What's a reason? What's believing? What's lovely is how I feel about you. What is sight?
What is a meaning?
What is the future? What's this feeling? What is a way I can say? What's lovely is how I feel about you. What's a way I can say? What's lovely is what I feel for you.
Oh.
A while back, and it's written to a friend to let him know what I felt about them. That friend happens to be Gail. And that our friendship is 45 years long. Our relationship is only COVID long.
Right.
All right, the next tune is called A Little Love. This one, would you want to talk about it?
Sure. So I wrote the words to this song, and I could not get music for it. So I said, David, how about give it a try? So this is our first song we wrote together. And we're sort of on a roll with writing some new songs together. Lyrics, music. So here we go.
A Little Love. I just want to be wanted.
I need a little love.
Cup of coffee in the morning. A little push with my shove. A little laughter, a melody to a song. A little right to my wrong.
A case of perfection and letting go.
A familiar tune on the radio. A portrait of a friend.
A painting on my wall.
Being little and standing tall. A stranger singing in harmony.
The princess finding a peace. Perfect moon, a sunny day.
Rescuing myself, what can I say? Thunderstorms in summer, lightning in the afternoon, doors open to pleasure. I'll leave the light on for you.
Beautiful.
So there's an echo. No. So I got to tell you, I am, just wowed by this because in my preparation, I went to GalenMusic.com. And so here are my notes that I was going to ask you about. So
No, it's okay. He doesn't need to ask about Galen.
no. So you guys have been doing this what, 2.5 COVID years? Is that
Oh,
what
no.
No, about a little over 3 months.
Wow. Okay. So that's great. And so you just decided, hey, you needed some music to some lyric scale, and you thought that maybe David could put something together.
It's a little bit deeper than that, but
Well, I'm sure it is.
kind of. COVID years we spent on Zoom, so we haven't lived together. Now it's been a year. So when David arrived from Connecticut to California, into our year together, we were like, hey, maybe we should play some music together, and that's what happened. Another COVID relationship on
Wow.
our show today. Yeah.
The COVID silver lining. I mean, the pandemic. Yeah, no, that's great. You guys sound so great together. So, any plans to add some strings to it, a guitar or?
Well, I do play guitar. So
yes,
when we were
I
on
know.
here the first time, we just picked these two songs, and when we were here before, I played for both of the songs. But I just love David's playing, and I thought it'd be fun just to sing and do these two tunes.
Yeah, no, you guys sounded great. And so I'll just bounce over to the work you do in national parks in Yosemite.
Oh,
and the songs that you've written and that you perform, right?
Well, I've done a lot of
national parks.
songs for kids in a past life. I mean, they're all grown. They're grown now, and they keep saying, "Hey, I remember your songs when I was a little kid." But what is really my passion now is still kids songs, but other songs, and of course Yosemite Songwriting Retreat. So that's a biannual event that people come and write songs around Yosemite.
Right.
But David and I have been playing out, and we have who knows where this will go, but it certainly is fun.
Yeah, no, you guys sound so great. And so all the other bands that you used to be in, they're on the. Let's see, there was the Meltwater Bridge Band and Two Pisces, and those are still going,
No,
but they're dead.
They're gone, and I'm
see.
hoping that this sticks.
Yeah, well, hey, let's hope so, right? I mean, it's got a lot more going for it than just some people you play, instruments with,
Well,
right?
we're definitely having some fun, and this is a new experience for me, being able to play out. I've always hidden behind a computer and behind a curtain, and never playing out in front of people. So COVID and Gail's Yosemite Songwriting Retreat, as well as the Retreat Community, which is the online, every Wednesday we do the open mic, that got me kind of interested in honing my skills for performance and not hiding behind a digital editor.
Right.
And so that's been a great move forward for me.
So is the plan to continue to do just original tunes, or do you doing some covers as well?
We do covers. We don't do a lot of covers, but we do some. We actually try to find a really positive message, and try to find tunes that fulfill that for us. That isn't exclusively what goes on, but that's the vast majority of what we do. So we write tunes together. We're just working on a new one now called
Vintage Girl.
Vintage Girl.
Nice.
And we're going to continue to sort of explore the possibilities. And for me, this idea of being able to play out is so wonderfully exciting and new. It's really it's captured me in a great way. So I'm going to keep doing
Cool.
it. It's very different than my previous life, so it's good.
Yeah, no, that's great. And I mean, you guys really do sound so great together. So I'm sure you'll have a lot of success out and about. It's always a lot of fun to play in front of live people out there, a few feet away from you.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, listen, we hope to have you guys come back again so we can hear some more of your music. And thanks for playing for us tonight.
You're most welcome. Thank you.
All right, Dave, back to you.
Thanks, Gail and David. What wonderful work you guys are doing after only a short period of time. It's really impressive that you guys are this tight, this quick. So it must be pretty exciting for you to be moving forward. And thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Okay. And next up is Sarah Gosley Reed from Mount Vernon, Ohio. Sarah, where are you? There you are.
I'm here.
Take it away, Sarah.
Oh, thank you. I'm in Ohio, and right now my windows are open, and I'm listening to a lot of beautiful insects sing, and this is a song that I wrote called The Katydid Waltz. In my bed last night, just as it got dark, a most curious sound met my ear. What was outside came inside and began to play a tune I never did hear. The firefly stood on the window that night. His baton in the air. He lit up the town beat so all could see. The insect orchestra was there. Katie, oh Katie, did play me the song you did when summer turns into fall. Katie, oh Katie, did, Katie, oh Katie, did play me the Katydid waltz. There were crickets on woodwinds and locusts on brass, mosquitoes and gnats on the strings. The percussion section was katydid's. They played a waltz 1, 2, 3 with their wings. They oomped and scritched for hours until the wee hours of the morning were near. I may have been dreaming, but tonight all my friends will be gathered at my window to hear. Katie, oh Katie, did play me the song you did when summer turns into fall. Katie, oh Katie, did, Katie, oh Katie, did play me the Katydid waltz. Katie, oh Katie, did play me the song you did when summer turns into fall. Katie, oh Katie, did, Katie, oh Katie, did play me the Katydid waltz.
That was a hoot. Beautiful.
Thank you. Just, I love the sounds that the insects make, especially the katydids. There's just something about their charming little sound, and the way that they make that sound is incredible. And it's a scientific article, so I won't go into it right now since we don't have a whole lot of time, and we're at the end. This next song is one that I wrote for a friend I played music with in college. His name is John Coggy, and it is his daughter Mallory's wish that she made on a falling star one night with her mother when they were driving around and they saw this star. And he has told me the story several times, and I just had to kind of write the song. And it's called Mallory's Wish, and it is on my newest CD, which just came out a couple weeks ago. The CD is called The Healing. And so this is Mallory's Wish, and it's my wish for everybody who is listening as well. Driving down the road one night, Mallory's mother saw a light. It was falling from the sky. It was a star just passing by. And she said, we should make a wish upon that star. Mallory heard that if you tell your wish to someone else, the things you ask for come undone and won't do good for anyone. And she worried about her wish upon that star. But then she thought of many things, not just stuff that money brings. A turquoise dress, ballet shoes, a pony, and a cat or two. And she decided she would make a wish upon that star. Mallory saw a falling star and dreamed up wishes. She thought of silver lakes with sparkling rainbow fishes. But better than puppies, better than candy, by the handful she wished everything could just be wonderful. Mallory wanted to be sure her wish could come true. That falling star took her worries away when it flew. When Mallory's mother spoke at last, she told her wish. Then she asked Mallory if she could share her wish right then and there. And Mallory bravely told her wish upon that star. Mallory saw a falling star and dreamed of wishes. She thought of silver lakes with sparkling rainbow fishes. But better than puppies, better than candy, by the handful she wished everything could just be wonderful. Better than puppies, better than candy, by the handful she wished everything could just be wonderful. Wonderful.
Nice.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
So, Sarah, you're wrapping up the show for us tonight.
I am.
And
Thank you.
that's
Thank you all
good.
for sticking around.
Oh yeah. No. It was well worth sticking around. I love those.
Wonderful. It was
songs.
really fun to hear everybody. It's such a delight.
So reading a little bit about you.
Yeah.
Luckily, you're just as you said on your website here. You play guitar. So your parents were both musical, right? Your
Yes.
father played the bassoon and your mom played the cello. Is that right? Yeah,
That's
cello and
correct.
string
Yeah.
bass.
And the string bass.
Yes, and you actually played the violin, right?
Yeah, I still do. Yep. Mhm.
Okay.
I play in
And
a
then-
local. I play in a local orchestra right here in Knox County Symphony, right in
Wow.
the center of Ohio.
Oh yeah, I'm just reading about them. No, I'm only kidding. uh, and so you decided, though. I mean, the violin's violin. So you decided you want to learn the guitar, right? And this
Yes.
is when, back in the '60s, folk music '60s.
Yeah, that would probably be it. I think the very first person I saw play guitar, this is going to sound really funny, but was on the Mickey Mouse show. And they advertised, they had this guitar that had a crank and it played the Mickey Mouse theme, but they
Yeah.
also had another one that was the real guitar, but it was like, I'm sure it was plastic. But I saw somebody playing this, and I just was like, I want one of those.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Well,
I picked the violin first. That was
Yeah.
my starter instrument.
Well, you made a smart choice there. You've come a long way.
Yeah, I'm glad I don't have the one with the crank anymore.
Yeah, right. Well, nothing wrong with that. So when you were learning songs by ear in the '60s, so what are some of the tunes that you were picking up?
Oh, well.
Bob Dylan? Were you?
Oh yeah, I did. I learned a lot of Dylan. I probably learned more Judy Collins songs and Peter, Paul and Mary and the Beatles. It just went on from there. I'm trying to think in college. Well, I was in a group in college, and we did imagine that. And we did a lot of protest songs. We did a lot of Buffalo Springfield and Crosby, Stills and Nash.
Yes.
Stuff and I just forgot his name. Cat Stevens.
Yes.
We did a lot of that kind of stuff. And then, but we started, some of us started writing, and so we kind of worked the original songs in with all the others.
Yeah, the '60s and early '70s were a great time for acoustic guitarists, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Cat Stevens, great stuff, and it's all acoustic.
Oh
stuff.
yeah, oh yeah.
And so you continued playing guitar throughout the years, or did you have a break for a while and then?
No, actually, I pretty much continued. I kind of stopped playing the violin for about 15 years, but I played the guitar pretty much everywhere I have lived, and played in little, coffee houses and restaurants, and not really bars so much, maybe a few, but really more just interesting places like little restaurants and stuff. I did a lot of that. And then I had kids, and I learned a lot of children's music, and and I did a lot of kids performing for about 20 years. I had a partner named Lisa Bialis, who we had a duet, and we played a lot of kids shows.
So don't you have something coming up in October? Concert for third graders, correct?
Yeah, you did do your homework.
A little.
Actually, it's first graders.
Oh.
All the first graders in the county come to this beautiful theater here in town, the Memorial Theater. And they do this for every grade level, I think up through 6th grade. They bust them all in. So I have done the first grade show for ages, and there are about 700 of them. And it's really fun. It's just
that sounds great.
It is fun. It's
That's
really
good. Well, listen, I really enjoyed
thank you.
your songs, and you do have that voice. I mean, that is the voice of of the '60s. The female singers. I mean, it's just crystal clear, and wow, it sounds great. Brought back memories for me. An old guy.
Thank you very much. Thank you,
Yeah,
and thank you so much for having me. It was a joy. It was fun to be here.
We hope to see you again too. It was absolutely.
I hope so. That would be great.
Sounds great. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, Dave, back to you for the last time.
Sarah, thank you so much. Wonderful songs. Love your approach. Love
Thank you, Dave. Thank you.
Wonderful. Well, that wraps it up for the night. We've had a great show, and I want to thank all our performers. And one at a time, if you guys will give us a little wave as I read off your names. We got Carolyn and Ken from Pennsylvania. Got Louis Beeler from North Carolina. Got Arne Hurty from California. Rob Cork from Oregon. Max Newton from California, Paul Colombino from Rhode Island, Bet Paget from North Carolina, Steve Andersen from California, and Home Tonight, the act Gail and David from California, and Sarah Gosley Reed from Ohio. And that's it. And I want to thank our interview host, who is Rich Fassler. He's there. There he is right there. And hidden behind our logo shield is our very capable engineer, is Evan Acey. And I'm Capo Dave. And so on behalf of myself and all the organization, good night from Open Mic America. Good night, all.
If you meet me at the corner of Russell and Albina, just about a block from Mississippi Avenue, I'll take you to a house where they hang carpets on the wall. And if we go there on a Sunday, there's a song I'll take you through.